took just a couple of seconds to get him back. Richard, are you there? Richard, can you hear me?
I can.
Good. I began to start with all of these things, the melody, as I said, the harmony, keyboard, party noises, choral projection. Which part of that, which element did it for the jury to rule in the Gaye family's favor?
I think all of it did it. We played for the jury, and we had excellent expert witnesses. We had Judith Fennell. We had Ingrid Munson from Harvard University. What they did was they spelled it out for the jury. They broke it down compositionally, and they showed that it was not the taking of an era, that was not the taking of a genre, as Mr. Williams wanted to say. It was the taking of a composition, and all those elements, the constellation of those elements did it.
Constellation of all of those star elements. Now, you won. This is amazing to me. Despite not being allowed to play Marvin Gaye's song, were there jurors who sat on that jury who had never heard that song got to give it up?
I would assume yes, and that's very interesting because they, in the media, said they didn't copy, but they fought tooth and nail to prevent us from playing the music. We were able to play excerpts of the music and compare it to Blurred Lines and show that the taking was strikingly similar, that it was the same notes, that it was nearly identical bass, keyboard, vocal melodies, harmony, same structure. And the jury saw that and they heard it.
Now you're asking the court to enter an injunction to entirely shut down the sale and distribution of the song till a royalty deal can be struck. This, as Pharrell and Thicke's side say, they're going to appeal. Will you settle for a lesser amount if they back off their threat to appeal?
I can't say that we will. We won this case. They put us through this. And remember, they filed this lawsuit.
Right.
They started this war. We finished it. But they started it. And so we're going to ask for an injunction. We're going to try and cease the selling of Blurred Lines until we can reach a deal where we can share in future revenue, where the Gaye children can share in all monies that are received going forward.
Okay, so you're not going to say whether you would settle if they back off the appeal?
I don't think they have a valid appeal. They won every evidentiary ruling they wanted to win. They stopped us from playing the entirety of the song. If we would have played the entirety of the song, it would have been a landslide. So having achieved the evidentiary success that they did, I don't think they have a valid appeal. They can say they're going to appeal. We're not going to worry about that.
Sources are telling me out in Los Angeles that the next song in the crosshairs is unbelievably, to me, Pharrell's Happy. I say unbelievably. It won a Grammy. It is a very popular song. When I asked my sources why, they told me, listen to Marvin Gaye's Ain't That Particular. I want to let our viewers listen first to a few bars of Happy, and then we'll listen to Marvin Gaye's song. Here's Happy.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break.
And now here's Marvin Gaye's 1965 song, Ain't That Peculiar. Listen, everybody.
Honey, you do me wrong, but still I'm crazy about you.
Okay, so Mr. Busch, are you going to sue Pharrell for copyright infringement involving his song Happy? Is that next?
It sure sounds similar to me, but I have no plans and I have no information that the Gays plan anything like that.
The Gays have been asked about certain songs, and they brought up, they said, yeah, ain't that peculiar. At this point, I'm wondering, what was their first reaction, Richard, when the verdict was read and when you were able to really hear from them?
Satisfaction, relief, happiness. They did this for their father. They did this for their husband. They did this because he couldn't be here to do it for himself. And they truly, truly wanted this for him and for his legacy so that he received the proper credit. I can't emphasize enough. We did not file this lawsuit. They did. They thought that the Gays would shrink away like shrinking violets, that they would just give up, that they wouldn't have the wherewithal to fight this, but they bet wrong. And so this was their fight that they started. We just ended it.
This is just so amazing to me that they poked a sleeping tiger in a way, because as you said, they filed a preemptive strike. Because what? They heard that people were comparing the two songs?
Well, they heard that people were comparing the two songs, and quite frankly, they were upset that the Gays had the temerity to actually question whether Blurred Lines copied Got to Give It Up. And being who Pharrell Williams is and Robin Thicke is and the machine that they have behind them, they thought that they would scare the Gays into just going away. And they got bad advice.
Well, maybe I'm an old fogey, but the first time I heard Blurred Lines, my first thought was, oh, they're playing Marvin Gaye's Got to Give It Up on a very
Liz,
sort of top 40 station. I thought that was weird, but it wasn't that. It was Blurred Lines.
And you're not the only one. Jan Gaye, who I want to just thank for having the guts to do this. And I want to also thank Mark Levinson, who is the Gaye's transactional lawyer, who had the foresight on this as well.
Okay, Richard, do me a favor, because I personally don't think this is over. I think the Ain't That Peculiar issue with Happy is going to rear its head at some point, but please keep us posted. Thank you so much.
I certainly will.
Richard Busch
Thank
is
you.
the attorney for the Gaye family and partner at King & Ballo, saying he fully expects the other side to drop its appeal because, as he says, he doesn't think they stand a chance. The closing bell ringing in about 40 minutes.